welcome once again to Tommy Jams and Banjara Talkies.
Okay.
Yeah, so for someone who doesn't know you, we'll just introduce you. You're Soundarya Jayachandran, a singer-songwriter. You're coming up with a new album, and we are going to talk about you, your music, and your album now in this short interview, a 20-25 minutes interview. Okay?
Yeah.
So, Soundarya, tell us a little about yourself, your history, your background, and music.
Well, I'm in my second year at college, so basically I've learned Carnatic music for the past 8 years, and that's how it began because at the beginning when I first bought my guitar, my dad plays the guitar, so he bought the guitar and the first thing I played on it was, nothing else matters if nothing with the left hand. So I was strumming and then I was like, maybe I should go to guitar first. And then it started there, and then after that, I started listening to a lot of English music. In fact, I had absolutely no exposure to English music. It was Hindi music, and now I barely listen to Hindi music. So that's how it started. Then the fact that I just discovered that I could start singing, English music. I'm like, hey, I can do this. I didn't know that. And then I started that, and my Carnatic music background really helped me to sing Western music. It actually helps. Like, a lot of people don't realize it, but classical music really, really helps you do your Western. So it just started like that, and I started doing a couple of shows here, and I got hooked up with this producer in Chennai. And I used to write originals from like 10th standard. So, and he was like, I want to give you a try. And then he gave my original music a listen, and he was like, I think we should do an album. So, yeah, that's how it started. That's the start.
Right.
So you were trained in singing?
Yeah, I was. Yes, I was. I left it, but for 8 years I was trained in Carnatic music. Yes.
So how did the guitar come along? Because I've seen you play the guitar as well.
Yeah, the thing is that my dad knows how to play the guitar.
Okay.
So the first time he bought a guitar, I had no clue how to play it. So I just thought I'd go for guitar classes because there's a guitar at home, and I was like, hey, this is interesting. I just gave it a shot, and from there it just took off.
So all of the guitar of yours is absolutely self-learned. That's what you're saying.
No, I went for guitar classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Good. So tell us something about your music now. What does it sound like?
I think it's kind of maybe a little acoustic rock, and sometimes blues, and it revolves around pop rock. So that's what I usually do, and it's based on a minor key because I like writing music when I'm depressed and when I'm in pain, because I think that pain gives a lot of easy inspiration to do it, and I find it's very difficult to write music when I'm happy. So it's usually, it's usually very Alanis Morissette, and it's very strong and raw, and it's something that you want to listen to when you want to really give somebody the finger, but you can't. So it's that kind of music. Yeah, that's.
So suited to Bangalore weather, yeah?
Sorry?
It's suited to Bangalore weather.
Yeah, actually, the cloudy weather really, really helps set the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So tell us something about your album now. Yeah. What is it about?
Okay, so it's called Shades of Revival, and it's coming out on the 4th of May in Chennai.
Oh.
So basically, the same thing that I went through really tough phase when I actually got here, and every person goes through it. I mean, it's the same old teenage stuff about the breakup, and everybody has pain in their lives, but from a different source. So I think that a lot of people can associate with this, except that you could get it out, and I really, really find God for giving me something that could get my music out in a right way, you know? Like, I could get my anger and pain out in the right way. And I really thank music for that. So it's basically about how I got into that space and how the different songs on the album is each shade of revival, each phase that I went through and I revived out of. So yeah, that's what the album's about.
So most of the songs in the album are all made by like, is it a solo kind of album, or are you collaborating with musicians who do different parts
No.
of instruments or something?
No. I completely wrote it, the lyrics, the music, everything. It was just me. But yes, I did have session artists to come and play different instruments. So, but the initial work and the musically and lyrically were completely mine.
Okay. Nice. And when is it out? How many tracks?
It's a 5-track album because it's a demo album. It's out on the 4th of May in Chennai, Gatsby Village. So, yeah. Can't wait.
Nice.
One intriguing question. So you're in your second year and you talk about, like, you've mentioned pain at least 5 times by now. So what is the reason behind so much pain, if I may ask?
No, this is a lot of frustration. Well, yeah, I'm happy now, but you know, not everybody is happy all the time. You know, everybody cannot be happy all the time. And even if I'm like upset one day because of some stupid reason, you know, it gives you it gives me inspiration to write music. So yeah. Plus, I'm just doing this whole graduation thing so I can go to Berkeley. So yeah, this is just like, you know, backup.
So Berkeley is where you want to go to?
Yeah, that's the final destination. That's plan A for me. This is just plan B. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Like, in case, you know, I want to know if I'm good enough. I want to grow as an artist. I'm originally from Muscat, Oman. So for those of you who don't know that, it's near Dubai.
I've been.
So the thing is, yeah, I know a lot of people don't know that place. So basically, it's like when I was there, it was like I was a big fish in a small pond. And you know, there were not a lot of people there who actually did Western music, and there was actually no platform for Western music at all. So when I came to Bangalore, it was completely different. I got to meet so many artists who were like as good, if not better than me. So it helped me grow. So I want, you know, like when I go to the US, when I go to Berkeley, it's gonna be a bigger platform. It's gonna be a bigger notion. So, you know, it's gonna help me grow, and I don't want to, you know, be stuck. I mean, that's where Western music originated. So, you know, it's gonna give me more exposure. So I just want to learn and grow and, you know, get contacts and get exposure, meet new people.
So you're going to make your career in music, and that's your final decision.
Absolutely. If it works out, then yeah, why not? Because I'd be like, isn't everybody's dream to, like, you know, do what you love and earn money out of that the easiest way? And you're good at it. You love what you're doing. Exactly like you, right? Yeah. So
Okay.
Everybody's dream, so why not?
Yeah. Okay. So one thing, a lot of people who will see this will be, you know, aspiring musicians or upcoming artists who are there on Tommy Jams and other like websites also. So what we want to know from you is, how do you go about making an album? Like, what are the 3 steps that you need to do? 1, 2, 3.
3 steps? There are no 3 steps. The reason, see, it's about being recognized and music and every other art form. I'll tell you one thing, very, very frankly, I don't want to, you know, like, make castles in the clouds, but you should be at the right place at the right time, and you have to be lucky. Because, you know, people can tell you, you know, like, this will happen for you, this will happen for you. I need to be good. You need to be really, really good. So the thing is that you do your part by putting your music out there. You have the internet. The internet is on your side. We are living in a century of technology, you know. So like, do that. You have the internet. You have a video cam. You have studios. You have everything on your side. they're all your weapons. So just use them, put your stuff online, and if you're good enough and it's supposed to happen, it will happen. That's simple as that. So yeah, and like try, do your part of it. Like, just don't just sit in your room and be like, oh, you know what, I might never become like her, I might never do that, I might never do. Just don't do that. And like, go out there, put your music out there. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't happen, fine. You still try. So yeah, that's about it.
Nice. And how easy or difficult it is to, actually go out and record music for an album. Yeah.
It's really not. It's like I said, if that's what you love to do, there's nothing difficult about it. At all, it's fun. In fact, when I spent like the studio where I went to record in Chennai, we used to spend about 12 hours just sitting there till about 12:30 at night, and I wouldn't even feel exhausted. I would be like, I could sleep here, I could live here in the studio.
Nice.
If you like it, it's not difficult at all.
Yeah. And how do you plan to market and distribute this album?
See, like I said, I have the internet, and I want to give my CDs out to different record labels and different producers, and put it out there for people to listen to. That's my main goal. I want people to listen to my music, come and listen to my shows. Come for me, not for anybody else. So yeah, I plan on doing gigs, putting it on the internet, selling it, downloads. There's gonna be stuff on iTunes too. So yeah, that's just for the start. That's what I plan on doing.
So one thing, so when you talk about marketing it like that, basically you're trying to create an online presence, and that's obviously great because we live in a technology-friendly world, and the problem is that hundreds of artists like you are really putting it up on the same pages, on the same. How do you really make your music take to the go to the next level, right? How do you really make it available, or how do you highlight it amongst so many people doing the same thing?
Like I said, see, I'll tell you something. Not frankly, everybody who's no offense, but everybody who's on the internet, everybody who's put up their work on the internet is not that good. Come on. I mean, you have to take that on. Okay, not everybody who does it is good enough. They're good, but they're not good enough. So, the fact that not just me, I mean, there are a gazillion of artists who are maybe, like I said, as good or better than me. But you should be there the right, if it's meant to happen, it will happen. That's what I clearly believe in that. But if it's things like this, you cannot help. There's nothing you can do. You can do a certain amount, but the fact that you get recognized is something that comes if it's supposed to come. So yeah, so you can do what you have to. You can highlight yourself on YouTube. How are you different from other artists is a question that the person who picks me is supposed to answer.
I see your positivity in your attitude. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you have to be.
And you make it very easy.
I put the negativity, I just stick with negativity in my music. And the rest of it
yeah.
So yeah, that's
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So, what about you're one of the few females in the music industry of India. So, how does that work out for you?
It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't see the fact that more than being a female artist, there's more than being a solo artist. Because in India, it's mostly about bands. And you get gigs more easily as a band. I mean, you go to Hard Rock Cafe, places like Hard Rock Cafe, you'll be like, you're a solo artist? Okay, do you have a band to back you up? And I'll be like, no, I don't. Then they give the bands an opportunity because they clearly have an advantage over a solo artist. So that is it's a little bit of thing, that issue. But other than that, being a female artist, it does not really affect. No, it really doesn't. Plus, as a band, there's another thing is that you get to, even if you plan on putting up your own album, you have about 4 or 5 people in a band who can finance it together. A solo artist can't do that. Just the amount of risks that you take is a lot more. So that's a couple of things that pushes you back as a solo artist. But Other than that, being female or male artist does not really make a difference. I believe that.
No, but there's a basic thing that you notice, right? That number of females in the music industry are relatively pretty less. Like most of
Isn't
the.
that good for me? That's good for female
Yeah.
artists. There's
So,
less competition.
how do you feel about it? How do you think that? Why is it so? Why is it like I don't see a reason actually? But is it? Why do you think? Are there like most of the guys get into the music industry and very like relatively much lesser girls?
I have no clue. I really have no clue why.
Yeah.
But you should, because actually it should be the other way around, because I don't know, in Indian society you have this whole thing that the guys should be earning, the guys should have a stable job. I think it's really easier for the girls to do it. I don't know why they don't do it. But I really don't know. I don't know. I have no clue.
Okay.
But solo over band, like you would prefer to be solo over forming a band actually.
Definitely. Oh my God, definitely. Because I've had a lot of offers from bands. I've had a lot of things. The thing with me is I find it hard to. I don't get the concept of a band. I can't appreciate it as a person because I think that I should do all the work. Like. I don't know how to explain it to you, but I found it really hard. In fact, like a couple of bands that I've been in, I lost a lot of friends that way, actually. I'm the kind of person who likes to do my work my way, and collaborations are fine. I'm absolutely open to them. It's a lot of fun because that's one way of growing. But as a band, I really don't think I don't know, maybe I'm a little selfish, or I like things being done a certain way. So bands are really a no-no, big no-no for me.
I think if I understand correctly, you mostly do not want to be in a band because although it adds a technical value to the music, but the feel factor you think is very personalized in your case.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm good with collaboration because it's like a temporary band, but I do not want to belong to a band like that. I don't want to. I want to be myself, belong to myself, my work. So, yeah.
Who are some of the people you collaborated with, and maybe on the album?
Nobody. I didn't collaborate with anybody for the album. I did I have not collaborated with anybody and put up on the internet. We used to do gigs. Me and a friend of mine, we used to do gigs like at the girl duo band. And there was another blues band I used to play with called Blues Snap. So and back in school, I used to be part of that. No popular bands, and I have had certain collaboration requests, but it's not been able to do that because that person's somewhere else. But everything on the album is not collaborated at all.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So it's simple, pure you, your music.
Sorry?
It's simply your music, your pure music.
Simply me and my music, and it's completely and purely mine. So yeah. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't be open to doing collaborations, like bring it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Nice.
But so far it's just in me.
Yeah. So something about the music industry now. How do you like India's music industry?
India's music industry is like the Indian music or Western music?
Both. Like you can talk about Indian, like Bollywood classical also, as well as how things are changing now and we are.
So what do you views, like for example, some of the views are like that Bollywood is getting commercial because of which a few other genres are subdued relatively, or metal came in, now it's gone out, whatever. Like, so at the end of the day, when there are so many artists coming up in so many genres, so much happening in I'm sure that you would have realized that there are so many artists coming up and because technology is easy, so you can make you can get a recording studio next door. So at the end of the day, you can your videos down.
Sorry, can you just repeat that? Yeah.
So we were talking with so many artists coming up with technology becoming so easy. busy in the music industry. For example, the recording studio is generally now just next doors or at your home place, right? So with so many kind of bands coming up, so many collaborations happening, so many genres getting realized, how do you think is what is the future? What is really is it? How is the music industry really developing in your opinion? Because you've been there for a while, so how do you think it's gonna go?
How do I think it's gonna go? I think that a lot of like for me as an artist, for me, Carnatic music, I was not able to appreciate it in the beginning. But once I started doing Western music for a while, I actually started to appreciate Hindustani music, Carnatic music, classical music, etc. So I think a lot of bands out there, eventually come to some point in their careers where they decide, they realize how wonderful Hindustani music and Carnatic music is, how wonderful classical music is. So I think eventually, I know there's like a lot of metal going on in India because India is like basically a very, very potent metal hub. So I think that these genres are going to stay. All the genres are going to be there. Maybe new genres coming up, and it's a good thing. I just don't think that everybody will converge to like one genre or something. There will always be versatility, especially in a place like India. You cannot find more versatility than a place like India in terms of music and otherwise. So yeah, I want that. It's great because when everybody thinks the same way, when everybody has the same genre in their head, you cannot. Then it's like one person singing. There's no difference. There's no mix of genres. There's no fusion, which is sad because you wouldn't really want to see a genre die. So yeah, I think it's going to continue. People are going to do what they love doing, and eventually, the already people from across countries are coming together in forms of genre, and I think it's gonna be like a one big huge party of mix of genres. Yeah, so that's what I think is gonna happen.
And do you want to do you plan to stay in the industry or do you want to go abroad? Like you were saying that you want to go and study at Berkeley. After that, what is it going to be? Coming back?
I think one step at a time because I believe that looking really ahead really gets you confused. So first the album's gonna come out, and then after graduation I'm gonna do Berkeley, and wherever that takes me. Because when 2 years ago I didn't know the album would come out, and if you had asked me what would happen in 2 years, I wouldn't know. So now this is happening. In 2 years I'll be in Berkeley, hopefully. And then I don't know where to take me from there. So the whole point is not knowing where it's gonna take you is half the adventure. So, great.
Okay, nice. Okay. So one last small thing. Where can we hear your album? And when, both you are launching it, when does it go online?
When will it go online? I'll let you know. Very soon. Very, very soon. After there's a music video coming up too. So I Don't Need Nobody, that was no single, but there's definitely gonna be another music video on the charts from one of my songs in the album, definitely. So maybe you can expect something in about a week or two from Post. So yeah, I will keep you posted. And the most important thing about being an artist is always being in the public eye, which I will ensure to do. So yeah,
yeah. Good. Okay. All the best with your album.
We look forward to hearing your music. And we'll catch you sometime through Tommy Jams again.
Yeah.
All the best with all your preparations. Do you plan to come out with more albums, or are you going to Berkeley too soon?
No, most definitely. This is just a demo album, and in a year I might come out with a full-fledged album. So yeah, that's what I plan on doing.
So we look forward to hearing more of your music.
Oh, cool.
Thank you for coming on Banjara Talkies. Thank you for giving us your time. Yeah.
Thank you. No worries. Yeah, it was fun.
Okay. All the best.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.